Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a new episode of the Gully Squad. How you doing, everyone? So today we're going to discuss a topic that's important in the Black community. We will be discussing the ADOS movement and the foundational Black American movement. And where I stand with this, I'm going to keep it gully. I'm going to tell you straightforward of how we feel. And I think it's imperative from my perspective that we discuss this because I personally am not ADOS. I am not. I am a first-generation American. Proud of it. Born in Brooklyn, New York. And my family came from the islands, a specific island, an island of revolution, an island of Haiti, which Americans say Haiti, but we say Haiti. That was the name that was given by the Arawaks, the natives of the land, which by happens to say that a lot of people think, oh, well, the Haitians don't have any Arawaks left. That was a bunch of bullshit. All the Arawaks did not die. That was just a bunch of bullshit. God damn it, if you look at me, you think I'm fucking native. I don't have those traditional African features, but I am African. I have African blood running in my DNA. I'm not saying negative about that. I'm not discounting that. I'm very proud to have that African blood in me, but I also know that just looking by my phenotype, and I ain't got no white people in me. I ain't got no white blood in me. I got that native blood in me. I've had people throughout my whole years of my life saying, God damn, are you Haitian? What are you? When I tell people I'm Haitian, like, you don't look Haitian. But like, what the fuck does a Haitian look like? But anyway, so my family came from the island of Haiti. Okay. And I was raised in Brooklyn. So I have to tell you this to have a backdrop of where I stand on ADOS. Because ADOS movement right now is getting some momentum, which it should. It's getting that push. It's getting that media attention, which it should. So me coming from Brooklyn, New York, growing up in the 70s, I don't look my age, thank God. But me growing up in the 70s, you see things and you acquire things and you adapt yourself to your surroundings. And I was proud to be an American. I was. I am. I learned a lot of shit of being a Black American born in Brooklyn, New York City. Ain't no more American than living in New York. Brooklyn. Captain America, he'll tell you that one. But I grew up being proud to be a Black American with Haitian family. And most of my friends who were also in many degrees, also first generation American. Their family was from Guyana. I had friends from Guyana. I had friends from Trinidad. I had friends from Jamaica. Haitian friends, of course. And I had American friends who were, family was from South Carolina, North Carolina. I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, where it was a melting pot. But us kids, we looked at each other and we're just American kids who happened to have island families. Now, that's how it was in my neighborhood. That's how it was in Brooklyn. I can't even say my neighborhood. That's how it was in Brooklyn back in the days. We saw ourselves as American. Nothing else. Now, when we walked inside the house, of course, our family spoke. My family, my grandma specifically, she spoke Creole, French. And, go to my friend's house. They speak in Prata, the Jamaican slang. But the minute we're out the damn door, we talking English. We're hanging with the boys. We're kicking with the girls, straight English. This, we're Yankee Doodles. That's it. The reason I'm saying this is because at that time and that location, respect was given. Respect was given to being a Black American. Because at that time, we fully were being taught in schools that being proud of Black America and its history, even in school. You walk into class and you see Marcus Garvey, you see Martin Luther King, you see Malcolm X, you see them on the walls, Frederick Douglass. You've seen those people in the classrooms. So we grew up with a sense of, okay, those people look like us. That's us. They did those great things in the 60s. They did those great things in the 70s. They did those great things in the 50s. Even though many of the kids in the classroom were coming from parents that came from different islands in the Caribbean. We have to keep that in mind. So I grew up with respect to ADOS. At that time, they weren't called ADOS. They were just regular, Americans, Black Americans, because we were growing up as Black Americans. Now, of course, some would say right now, we don't have that lineage. Of course, we do not. We don't have that blood. Our blood didn't go through the shackles of the 400 years in America. My particular bloodline, we chopped those motherfuckers' heads off in Haiti. We did some other shit. But that doesn't mean we're not family. We're just a group of family from a different tree. We're just family from a different branch. We're still family. So, growing up, we had respect. Respect was being given. Because we knew what was done for us to get to where we're at right now. We knew that the Rosetta Scott King, we knew what she did. We knew what Martin Luther King did. We knew what Rosa Parks did. We knew what Medgar Evers did. The Stokely Carmichael. We knew what these people did. And if they didn't do what they did during the 60s, God damn it, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't have the Civil Rights Bill Act. We wouldn't have... people... Let me go back a little bit. See, I think a lot of people, and I'm going to say this to immigrants who are now just coming, and immigrants that kind of look down on people. See, many of the things that we have right now in America, we take it for granted. I'm going to say that shit again. We take it for granted. Because we assume, not I, but many who just come over, they just assume that, we're going to come to this country and we're going to just eat off everything. And you know what? This is America. We want people to come to America because America is a place of the land of the free, supposedly. Be all you can be. But when you come over here being all you can be, you have to remember. And you have to get a history lesson of why shit is the way it is today. And why America is giving some of these freebies to everyone. They came with a goddamn cost. People bled for those things that you're coming here for. People died. People lost lives. Children got bombed in schools. Montgomery, Alabama. Know your goddamn history. So when you come over here in this country, and say, we're going to go do this. We're going to get this. Oh, we're going to get this type of housing. Oh, free. Oh, we get housing because we're this. That came because people marched. People sacrificed. Oh, they marched. See, now marching is a different. Its potency has waned. But back then, marching, protesting, boycotting. God damn it, those boycotts worked. Those were done because they wanted better. They wanted shit that was better for the community. Black people wasn't having it. Black Americans wasn't having that shit. So when people come to this country now, I think they should automatically get a goddamn history lesson. Because the stuff that we have now that is taken for granted, that's given to anyone without any regard to how it came, I think it's a disservice to the children, and I think it's a disservice to future generations. Because they won't have the value. They won't know what was lost to gain that. So when you come to this country, not only should you learn the goddamn language, but you should get a history lesson. I'm going to say that shit again. You should get a history lesson. And you got to pass. Because too many people come to this country without any goddamn respect. And I, as a person that comes from Caribbean descent, I learned that respect early. Shit, it was given. It was something you just had to accept. Like, but it was more like of an honor. Because I thought I was part of that history. This is what they did. People don't understand. If it wasn't for ADOS, God damn it, you would still be on the back of the bus. And you may say, I don't take the bus. Well, God damn it, if you were, you would be on the back. Public pools? Shit. You couldn't even get in a public pool. If you had any color in your skin whatsoever, you could not get in the pool with whitey. They would put acid in the pool. Look it up. Eating? Well, that's a different story. You couldn't even eat next to him. You couldn't even eat next to the white man. Couldn't even eat that goddamn garbage ass hamburger. That cancer burger. Back then we didn't even know it was like that, but you couldn't eat it. You couldn't, not in the same location. Those walls had to get breaking down. And that took a while. That took time. So people who come to this country now, they just think, oh, this is just all willy-nilly. This is the land of the free. It wasn't always like this. That shit took sweat and tears and bondage and broken shackles to get to this where we at right now. White man, see, let me tell you something. White man was not going to give you anything in this country. That shit had to be taken. Let me say that again. All the civil rights and discriminatory laws that were passed, anti-discriminatory laws that were passed, those were not given freely. They were taken. So we're at a place right now that we're reaping the goddamn benefits. Every one of us. Now, what does that have to do with ADOS? It has every goddamn thing to do with ADOS. And foundational black Americans. Does that mean that immigrants didn't do a big part? Of course they did. Of course. Many immigrants did. Marcus Garvey? Huh? God damn, that man is, if anything, that Marcus Garvey should be should be a curriculum in every goddamn school across America. But that was one man. There were many men and women, Black American women, Black American men that did tremendous work and sacrifice for us to be where we are right here. So the question of ADOS and foundational Black Americans getting reparations, it's a goddamn no-brainer. Pay those people their trillions. I didn't stutter. Pay them their goddamn trillions. And I don't think anyone who actually knows history would say that they don't deserve it. The only people that say that they shouldn't get reparations is people who don't know history and goddamn racist. I say that shit again. The only people who say Black Americans should not get reparations are people who do not know history or who are completely racist. Because they know history. And they say, fuck that. We don't want those niggas to get it. You fall in those two categories, goddammit. So I stand with ADOS 120%. Do I think some of the chatter about immigrants and people who are not ADOS could be a little, insensitive? Sure. Yes, it could be. I'm hearing a little, I listen to a lot of people. I listen to a lot of smart people that are, they're weighing their opinions upon it, and they are ADOS and some non-ADOS. But I would say this. Those who are ADOS, they have every right to say what the fuck they want to say. Because it's their group. And me personally, I'm not part of their business. See, I'm having a commentary about ADOS in a sense of support. But because I am not fully ADOS, I can't tell them how to dictate their business. See, Chinese people handle their business. And Japanese people, even though they may have a rapport with Chinese Americans, they can't get into their business when it's time to handle their business. It's not their place. And a lot of people right now don't have that wisdom to understand, God damn it, it ain't your place. You could put in your 2 cents all you want, but it ain't your goddamn place. What you can do is show support or non-support, whichever. It's your business. But it ain't your business to dictate what other groups are doing in their business. You cannot sit back here and say to the Jewish American, you should be doing this, that, that. Shut your goddamn mouth. Who are you? Who are you jumping into Jewish business? Or Puerto Rican. Why am I could say as much as I want about Puerto Ricans and da-da-da-da-da. Great culture. Love the people. Always got along with Puerto Ricans. Had a cute couple of Puerto Rican girlfriends growing up. Gorgeous girl. But that being said, who am I to jump in Puerto Ricans' business when it comes to their political and social economical affairs? I can't say a goddamn thing. Why? Because I ain't Puerto Rican. I could show support or non-support, depending on where you stand. It's the same thing. Black Americans, this is their time. This is their time to do what the hell they're supposed. Truthfully, they should have did this shit a long time ago. They should have been shutting this shit down ages ago. But you know what? It's their time. And if you're not Black American, ADOS or Foundational Black Americans, whatever you want to call yourself, you're right. You could listen to someone else. You could comment on their situation. But remember, that's family business. And be happy if they include you. And I think a lot of people who are not ADOS and who are immigrants, who seem a little uptight about it, is because they have been included in almost everything Black Americans. I would say one thing. To your detriment, excuse me. I apologize about that. To your detriment, you've included too much goddamn people in your shit. I'm just going to keep it gully. You included too much people in your shit for the past 40 years. Way too much. You should have had that goddamn wall built ages ago. See, in the Haitian Revolution, what we did is that for us, for a successful revolution to even have to happen, we had to cut out the rats and the coons and the Bedouins. They had to go first. Even though they were part of the family, but we knew they would jeopardize the revolution. We knew they would be the ones that fucked up where we were going. Because we had to deal with two fronts. We had to deal with the oppressors, and we had to deal with the people that was part of the oppressors' pawns. And there were many pawns in the Haitian Revolution. But we had to cut their throats first. They had to get it. But that was our business. We had to deal with family first. And we did. Is a Haitian saying, coupe boule kai, means cut off that neck and burn down that goddamn house. And we did. And I see that's happening with ADOS and Foundational Black Americans. So I support him. Oh, 120%. It's about time. And as a person who supports, I could only give my commentary. And like anyone else, we could only give our commentary. But it is ADOS and Foundational Black Americans' business to handle how they see fit. And I repeat myself, you can't go to another man, another ethnic group. A Trinidadian cannot tell a Jamaican, even though they're brothers. Even though that Trini and that Jamaican man, they're brothers. But they have different business. They're cousins, but they have different business to handle. Jamaican man don't have the audacity to say what the fuck goes on in Trinidad. Shut your goddamn mouth. Go back to Jamaica. Same thing. Jamaican go to Trinidad and say, oh yeah, Trinidadians need to go to handle that. Oh, shut your goddamn mouth. Go back to Jamaica. And they would respect it. See, a lot of people here, they come to America, and because Black Americans have been very open, very goddamn open, too goddamn open, in my eyes. Everybody wants to be in your business and tell you how you should dictate your business. I step back. I show support. We have to understand this. Immigrants coming to this country, they need a history lesson. They need a history lesson on how things became, how things are, and who pushed it this way. Who made it this way with sweat and blood and life. Many people died for what we have today. more so than others. And for that alone, through the trials and tribulations of slavery, rape, torture, unearned benefits that the goddamn white man received. Let's keep it real. This goddamn country was founded strictly on the backs of black American men and women for 400 years. See, we can't even, I don't really think sometimes people really fathom how long that shit is. That's lifetimes of sitting back, sipping goddamn tea while other people are working. Father, son, grandson, great-grandson, great-grandson, great-grand. That's a long line of just sitting back on goddamn porches, sucking on goddamn tea, watching everyone else do work. And all you're doing is screwing your wife. And she's right there doing nothing either. While another group of people are prospering for 400 years. It's really unfathomable to think. In many instances, we can't even imagine that shit. We see it on TV. Some people read them on history books, but we can't grasp the life for Black Americans in this country. So I say, full support. Give them their goddamn reparations. And they're going to get it. Oh, I'll say it here and now. On The Gully Show. They're going to get it. You may disagree, but I'm a visionary. I'm also a seer. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some battles. It's going to take some goddamn scars. But I see them getting it. One way or the other. Especially if they stay with the momentum that they have. They're going to get it. Give them their trillions. Good day, folks. On that note, family, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Support the Gully Squad at patreon.com. And remember, we are one.